First of all, your reaction to this. Young people appear to be losing hope in ever being homeowners. Why is that?
Yes, the research we've recently carried out at Raisin has some worrying trends when it comes to savings. On one hand, savings rates are maybe the highest they've been for the last decade, but equally the cost of a mortgage and other borrowing products is maybe risen even higher. And then if you add to that the cost of living rises, then for a lot of young people, either they're not able or they just can't be bothered to save up for a property. They just feel that it's out of their reach. And as you say, that age group, around about 1 in 4 now, are choosing to spend any savings on the likes of a holiday.
Kevin, you threw it in there very subtly, but there's a substantial difference, isn't there, between being not able to save for a deposit and not being bothered to save for a deposit. I mean, they're two very different things.
They are, and we have been a nation of homeowners, and the research showed that now 1 in 7 are saying that they plan to rent now forever. And that, as I say, has a worrying trend, because clearly the economy is very much based or helped by the fact that we do have this continual cycle of buying and selling properties. But I think when I say that they can't be bothered, as I say, it feels that it's out of reach. As you were saying at the start, house prices have softened. The average house price across the UK is nearly £300,000. So even if you're looking to build up a 5% deposit, that's around about 15,000, plus all the associated costs that go with a house buying.
And an element of this, especially at the moment, is even if you can afford to save up for that hefty deposit, and it can be, 30, 40, 50,000 pounds in some cases, then these young people are not on salaries that would allow them to pay a mortgage because the interest rates are so high.
Yes, and there has been changes over recent years around the mortgage industry, and affordability is a key element. And as I say, if we've got more young people renting, unfortunately, when it comes down to your ability to pay, or even intent to pay, then that rental cost isn't taken into account. It's more around your income. And as you said, that the rate of income increase, and we've just been hearing about that with one of your earlier guests, isn't keeping pace. We've just seen now 12 consecutive interest rate rises. And from a saver's point of view, that's been a positive. But from a borrowing point of view, it's a real challenge. In fact, a lot of the younger people that we've spoken to, it wasn't that long ago, they'd be seeing interest rates sub 1%. And now they're over 4%. So I think it's the shock of that. And on top of it, the realization that they need to save up a considerable amount of money. And a lot of people still have the money with the big banks, and they're just not paying the level of interest on savings to the extent that they're putting up borrowing rates.
What support do young people need to get on the property ladder?
So over the years, there's been a variety of things. There's likes of a lifetime ISA. There's Help to Buy, share ownership schemes. And let's face it, we've all relied on bank of mum and dad and grandparents over the years. So I think there's been lots of initiatives. But I think if this trend continues, as I say, there's a knock-on impact on the economy. And so I think industry and government is likely to have to put their heads together again and try and think of new initiatives, because it's not a trend that we want to continue to see. In the UK, as I say, unlike a lot of other countries, we are a nation of homeowners. It's a small island, lots of people, not enough property. So there's always that supply and demand that continues to boost property prices.
OK, Kevin Mountford, really good to have you on the programme this morning.